What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1972 movie Beware the Blob. Also known as Son of the Blob, The Blob 2, or The Blob Returns. It's been known through as all of those titles, although I think the actual title is Beware the Blob. So this is a sequel to the 1958 movie. It came out 13 years later, and it's directed by Larry Hagman, who is most known for playing JR on the show Dallas, which I haven't really seen that show very much, to be honest with you. He's also known for playing Major Nelson in I Dream of Jeannie, which is a show I absolutely loved as a kid. I used to watch it all the time as a kid and everything. They would play it on TV Land, and I used to watch it all the time when I was over at my grandma's house and everything. It was one of my favorite shows and stuff when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I actually been wanting to go back and revisit it, but when I heard that he directed a sequel to The Blob, I was really curious to see how this movie was going to turn out. And so it picks up 15 years after the events of the first movie, and an oil pipeline engineer ends up finding this this canister thing that was frozen and uncovered by a bulldozer on a site he's working on, and that's in the North Pole, and he brings it up, or brings it home, and doesn't realize that it has part of the blob inside the canister, and it unthaws and starts going around attacking people just like it did in the first movie. And of course he's one of the first victims and stuff. He wasn't the very first. The first victim is actually a fly, which I thought was really cool. Like, you see a fly, that just a common little housefly flying around, and it lands on the blob. It's starting to unfreeze and everything, and it just sucks the fly in, and then it attacks the cat, which I thought was cool too, because you don't really see animals get attacked in horror movies very often like that, and I thought that was pretty cool. Unless it's like a stalker movie, then the animals always never stand a chance, because for some reason everyone thinks stalkers are all about killing animals for some reason. But then it kills Chester and his wife, and a girl named Lisa finds Chester as he's during the end of his life, like in the final stages of being consumed by the blob, and she escapes and is able to escape and tries to warn everybody, and not even her boyfriend and stuff believes her and everything, and eventually he ends up seeing it too, and the blob is going around getting different people and stuff. It's kind of rehashing the first one. No one believes them. They're trying to get someone to believe them and everything. A lot of it leads up, and it all leads up to this big showdown with the blob at a bowling alley and everything. Like I said, a lot of it feels like a rehash of the original, except it's done with more humor and wit. It's more kind of self-aware and stuff, and it's like really weird because Chester is even watching the original movie on his TV when he gets attacked by the blob. It's really weird. It has a lot of meta humor and stuff, and this movie was kind of a mixed bag for me. I liked it. It did try to be more of a horror movie, though. Like, the atmosphere and stuff is a lot more tense and stuff, and they do try. But personally, I felt like the first movie was a lot better in that department as well, though. But it did double down on, like, the blob attacking people and stuff, which was kind of cool. It's not really gory or anything, but I think the blob looks just as good in this one as it did in the original. It is maybe more liquidy, if that makes sense. Like it I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't look that bad. I think it looks fine and everything. The visual effects are still decent, and cinematography and stuff is fine. It's just not a super great movie. It kind of feels like a made-for-TV movie, even though it was an independent movie, and you could tell that Larry Hagman really didn't have any experience directing movies and stuff. I think this is the only one he ever directed. He did direct some episodes of Dallas and some other shows that he was on, but he never really directed another movie. And watching this movie, you can understand why. And I love the score in here. Like, the score is actually way better than the movie itself. It's like actually kind of doesn't deserve to be in this movie, if that makes sense. But it did have a pretty good score, and like I said, it's an alright sequel. I wouldn't say it's anything super great. It's not one that I'd want to rewatch very often. But the more and more I think about it, I do think it was an okay sequel and everything. The original is one of those that I've always really loved. It's a fun little B movie, and this one, I guess, would be like a C movie, I guess. It's definitely not on the same quality as the first, but it has its moments, and it's okay. So I'd say I'd give it a 6 out of 10. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of the Blob. Beware the Blob. And if you haven't seen it and stuff, I don't know where to find it unless you just happen to find it on DVD or something, because I don't think it's on any streaming services. But it's not one of those that you really have to see. Like, the first one is great, and this one, most people probably don't even know it exists. The only reason I found out about it is that when I was looking up the Blob one time and everything, I found out there was a sequel that I didn't even know about, so I grabbed it or got it off of eBay and wanted to do it as one of my 31 Days of Horror. And I'm glad that I did finally get to see it, because I've known about the movie for a little while, but I never got around to seeing it, and I'm glad I finally have it. I think it's an okay movie. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Beware the Blob. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.